that's definitely going to be a disadvantage for them. Teal is upping himself a command center at his natural. I'm decided to float mine over here to the island. I always figure if I can sneak in an expansion over here on the island, if they don't find out about it, and I can safely mine without them harassing me, then why not? The bad thing is, however, is air can get over there, and I don't have a real way of getting ground over there short of medevacs. And even then, air could just pick off my medevacs before I could save it. So it is kind of a risky decision, but at the same time, if they don't catch you, it is great economy with no harassment. They do choke us up here a little bit. Let me slow this down. As you can see, I have all these units in the back that are attacking nothing but Zerglings here, while he gets a great spread on all of his Marines and Marauders, and just spreads out and picks us off. This was definitely, should have been a fight in our favor. As you can see, my Marines and Marauders running around in the back, just doing nothing. We actually sort of barely win this fight here. It should have been much more one-sided. Sai almost had as many roaches as Purple had lings, but just because we got bottlenecked up right there, the Teal was allowed to spread out and just annihilate our units. Let me speed this back up. I do have quite a few Marines and Marauders, so we could try to make a push right now. I actually think we might, but as you can see, they're already such low HP that it's probably not going to go well, simply for the fact that I don't have the medevacs to heal them up. And he does get his lings around us, start surrounding, and he made the silly mistake here of actually making himself a lair at his Expo. I don't know if that was so it had more HP, so we couldn't take it down as easy, but if we're all the way in here killing an Expo, we're going to get it more than likely. He's not really going to save it, so why would you morph your Expo into a lair over your main? I'm not really sure where that decision came from. I'm back at my base, obviously building units or buildings or something, as Teal's coming in here and killing all my stuff that I'm not noticing. Little bit of a mistake on my part. As you can see, just keeping the Marines and Marauders coming. That's all I've really needed thus far in the game. With Purple going all those lings, I didn't really want to try and go tanks in order to stop his Marines and Marauders, because the lings would simply get on top of my tanks and then I'd be in all kinds of trouble. And as you can see, Sai over here is getting Banelings. You get to see an interesting use of him. He actually puts his Banelings in his Overlords, and he drops Banelings on top of the enemy's army in the middle of a fight. And you'll get to see that here in a few minutes. He actually clumps up a good 10 to 12 Overlords, so the enemy has no idea which Overlords have the Banelings in them, and then he flies the 10 or 12 Overlords and unloads the 4 or 5 that actually have Banelings inside, right on top of his Bio Ball. It is very effective, especially in a 2v2 when there's so many units in a fight that you can't really pay attention to like what units are going where. It's a lot harder to focus certain types of units in a 2v2 because there's, especially in a ground war, because there's just so much room taken up by 4 armies. It's just impossible to keep track of everything that's going on at once. They are killing their destructible rocks over here. I'm guessing to try and get another expansion up. We did kill his hatchery down here, so he's now going to saturate that again, and he changed this into a lair and is now making a spire. I think if he would have gotten his spire up, or at least started it before this lair had died, then his Muta harassment that he's going to try here in a minute would have been much more effective than it actually turns out to be. But simply for the fact that we killed his lair down there, his spire was just so late that, I mean, look, Sai already has this many Hydras. I've got tons of Marines ready for his Mutalisks, and it just makes his Mutas 3 times less effective. As you can see, Teal here does have 6 barracks, still pumping the Bio Ball, not making anything really out of his factory, and he's trying to get some dropships down there. He's obviously lacking in the supply depot apartment a little bit. Department, not apartment. Got a scratchy throat a little bit here. I'm trying to saturate my island over here. That is the one bad thing about the island, is it takes so long to saturate because you can't bring the SCVs left over, like these ones running back and forth, over to your expansion to actually help mine because it's on an island. I could have loaded up 5 SCVs into this before I took it over, but I'm retarded and didn't think about it. Anyway, I had scanned Teal, saw that he was getting drops, and definitely Bio Ball with Medivacs is 3 times better than a Bio Ball with no Medivacs. I am finally researching the combat shield here, and my mistake, I don't even think, no, I'm not even upgrading my infantry or weapons or armor, so definitely a couple mistakes here by me. He actually isn't upgrading his either, so a lot of silly play going on there by both teams. Let's go take a look here again at income. Purple still, only 35 harvesters. I have caught up finally to Sai. He has 42 harvesters, I have 41, and Teal has 44. So everybody's income is pretty steady right now. Purple, I don't really know why he wasn't taking advantage of the fact that he had his expo all this time, and he wasn't making the number of drones he should have been making. Sai was actually quite clever. He tried blocking this with his Overlord, which doesn't allow the Terran to expand there, but the Zerg can still just go make a hatchery right on top of somebody else's creep, because creep is creep and it doesn't belong to anyone here in this game. Zerg units move faster no matter what kind of creep they're on. And as you can see here, he's got his 5 Overlords with Banelings inside of them. And I believe, yeah, he actually brings a drone and drops it on this island, and I think he'll make a hatchery here in a minute, just in case the Terran decides that he's going to expo to the island. I thought it would be smart to get me a nice little sensor tower, just in case I was going to get harassed by those Mutalisks. I'd be able to respond a little bit quicker. And I'm getting up my 3rd expo. The purple came in here and harassed Sai, and Sai ran him off with his Hydralisks. Well, that pushed his mutas up in the top left, and then he catches my expo. So I pretty much lose an expo here because of this, but now you're about to see some action. We see all his mutas up there, so now is the time for us to push and attack. This battle we actually get spread out quite well. Sai has a couple infestors to hold some units in place and do some DPS over time, and as you can see, his Overlords with those Banelings inside of him is going to be amazing right here. Purple wastes all of his Banelings right here on these Lings. Banelings just going to waste. Lings are nothing. You should definitely be trying to focus the Bio Ball with those, but he just can't get to them. So definitely this dropping method. As you can see, I'm losing the fight here to Teal. He does have Hydras, but Teal is beating me. And then the Baneling drop just comes in, and his units just drop instantly. One by one, his units fall. And as you can see, I still have this nice, sweet army sitting over here. So that is pretty much the end of the game. Nice use of the Baneling drops here. You guys got to see that. And Sai definitely loves using infestors. You didn't get to see a whole lot of use for them there, but just silly timing on Purple's part, not saturating, not using his or not getting his Spire up, and he just lost too many mutas to Hydras, and he was busy with me up in the corner and just wasn't there for his teammate like he should have been. So I believe they do GG here in a second. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and my YouTube channel is My Life StarCraft, just like Sai StarCraft, all one word. So go on there and subscribe, and keep checking back to scaudios.com. We'll be putting audios up every single day, me and Sai both. And maybe in the near future we can actually do a dual commentary, and we'll have some 2v2s for you, because we are Platinum Rank 2 right now, our 2v2 team. So hopefully I'll have some more 2v2 commentaries. If you guys could, vote on this video on either SC Audios or on my YouTube channel, and let me know if you're interested in more 2v2 audio commentaries. I've got a lot of mixed opinions about that. Some people just want to see the 1v1s, but there's a lot of commentators for 1v1s, and there's not so many 2v2 replays out for you guys to see. So just leave me a comment on there. Let me know if you guys want to see some more 2v2s, or if you'd rather me just stick to the 1v1 commentaries. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.